Hello and welcome to Grace, Gratitude, and Generosity, the video ministry of Robbinsdale Parkway, United Church of Christ. I'm Reverend T. Michael Rock, and it's so great to be with you. What a pleasure it is to make these videos and to be in your space. And thank you for clicking play on this video and allowing us to have these moments together. I hope I get to hear from you and your experience and your divine inspiration of grace, gratitude, and generosity. It's what we do and we share that makes this ministry come alive. And it's why I'm here today. I just want to I spent so much time over the last few weeks talking to people who have just a block in their anger, or they're frustrated about this or that in the world and politics or whatever it is, and in their feeling of faith. And I think a lot of religious people are in this place, is that they love the idea that there was a creation, a God that put us on the planet, that gave us free will and divinely inspired all the beauty around us, all the possibilities that made the world what it is. But they see the suffering that went on, and they see their own sense of finiteness, their own powerlessness over life and their own world and their own suffering. And it's hard to imagine a place that can understand reconciliation. And I think that's true of the experience of being in this place of the world, on this country, in this continent, where we inflicted so much suffering on people of color, indigenous people, African people who came over, who we enslaved and brought over on ships and in horrible conditions. And to reconcile a loving God in the midst of all that, it was so much easier for our founding parents to just say that God existed at one point, but isn't actively involved in our daily lives. And I think that's really sad. That malaise, that apathy is really what infects churches today. We don't really live in this beautiful place of connection and possibility all the time. And because the danger of that malaise, that apathy, is to find a spiritual life, find God, and the rush to understand that somehow that makes you more holy or more blessed. To follow the prosperity gospel that says your wealth is divinely inspired is such a hard thing, because it just judges everybody else. It puts us in competition with each other and with the divine understanding of this beautiful world that we live in. And so I think what I want to do today is to remind us that there's another alternative worldview. It's not just about a neutral worldview of God in the universe, or a judging God of the universe, but this idea that there's a spirit that is calling us in every moment of every day to be in relationship, to find the beauty that is unfolding every day, not just in our own created world, but in that more than human world that's out there all the time, expressing itself in such amazing ways. And yes, it's a violent world, and yes, it's a hard world, and yes, there's suffering, and all of those experiences bring us to a greater sense of connection with each other. If we walk side by side with someone or something in the midst of that suffering, our heart will grow. Our experience of the divine will blossom. We will find new ways of understanding who we are in the world, and it will enrich our lives to no end. This is a worldview that allows for grace and gratitude and generosity to be at the center of who we are, to open ourselves up to that possibility of every relationship, of every shape and kind, to be part of healing and restoration and reparation. We can start with forgiveness. You can start with letting go and not having to be right about something, but to just live into the possibility of walking side by side with someone else, feeling what they're feeling, having that reciprocated in some way, and feeling more connected and closer. If we do that with the plants and the animals and the rivers and the streams and the sky and the earth and all people, there is nothing that will separate us from the love of God. This is the promise of a spiritual life, is to live in that place, live in that promise that there is a desire for the universe to know you better and for you to know all of the ways that we are called into these connections. Oh, friends, I hope and pray that this is going to be the new life our church has and every spiritual community has. And for them, it's not about what's wrong or what complaining that somebody's not going to get their way or their way. It's about what's the next relationship. What's the next way we can be in touch with each other? It's not ever about judgment. It's not ever about right and wrong. It's always about what's next. What level of forgiveness have we been called to next? What level of understanding and love is the world unfolding? And that's what's happening in Advent as a new life is being born in us. It's a worldview. It's a universal understanding that this birth starts something, starts this ball rolling that has always been rolling, but we just haven't been on the same track. Friends, let us open ourselves up to new ways of being, of understanding, of grace and gratitude and generosity, because you are that beautiful. You are that loved. You are that special that the universe is calling you into forgiveness and love and hope and healing. Join us in this radical way of knowing who we are and what the world is. Such beauty awaits. Amen.